Okay, guys, we are live on YouTube right now. Good evening, everyone. Again, good evening, YouTube. My name is Camila. I am the host from today Immersion. The topic from today is breaking age barriers. And just to explain a little bit about the platform, Talk and Talk, it's a language conversation platform. And here you can find conversations in English, Spanish, French, Italian, and Mandarin also. And if you want to understand more about the platform, you can go to www.talkandtalk.com.br. And just to explain, guys, I'm not a teacher. I am a student as you. And here it's a place that you can make mistakes, but please don't correct anyone and be respectful with the others. And just to start, Guilherme, good evening. Could you please read the first question and answer, please?
Hello, my
Hello.
name is Guilherme. I am 25 years old. I am full stack developer with a background in computer engineering and a great passion for business. Outside of work, I like to play football, tennis, run, go to the gym, and other sports. Decided to learn English due to my great interest in accessing international content and also watching films without subtitles.
Wow, nice. I love it too. I'd spend maybe 1 hour, maybe 30 minutes a day doing these things, watching something without subtitles. And how about you, Grego? Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Adriana, but I prefer call it by Grego. I'm 25 years old. I live in Rio de Janeiro. Um, I'm studying front-end development, so I'm willing to work in tech. And my free time, I enjoy practicing yoga, going to the gym, meditation, and watching videos in English as well, because it's been my focus. And that's it.
Thank you, Grego. I'm going to introduce myself, guys. So, my name is Camila. I am 39 years old. I live in São Paulo. I work as an accountant in an energy company. I am here on Talk and Talk as attended since April, and I became a host this month. I am here to improve my English and also my Spanish sometimes. In my free time, I like to read something in English. As you guys said before, I love to try to watch something in English without subtitles just to push myself harder. And I guess this is really important to our development. And Guilherme, it's your first time here in Talk and Talk or only with me?
É, com você, primeira.
Oh, okay. But you know how it worked, right?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So, guys, let's start with the question number 2. Could you read, please, Grego, and answer?
Yes, Tia Tanya, the nickname of the Chinese woman who will represent Chile in table tennis, will become the eighth oldest athlete to compete in the 2025 and 24 Olympics. In your opinion, what motivates someone like Tia Tanya to compete in the Olympics at 58? Mm, I don't know. It's about passion and know what you want to do, what you want to do. Sometimes we struggle thinking about, oh, what I gonna do in the future, and we try to plan our lives, and then we realize that we should do what we want to do, what motivates ourselves. So it's a great thing because people normally Olympic Games are, I don't know if the word is elitist, but it's a little bit, you kind of have a max age to compete, and she's breaking it. So it's amazing to see all the people. It can encourage and represent all the peoples to try to play sports as well. So it's a nice thing. And what about you, Guilherme? What do you think?
Firstly, passion for sports, personal challenge, and experiences and wisdom.
Guilherme, do you understand the question number 2? Do you want to read and answer?
Yeah.
Please.
Hear me?
Can you read the question number 2?
Yes. Listen to me.
If you
Yeah, I
if you
can
prefer,
hear. I can
yeah, I
hear
can
you.
hear you. Yeah, it's a little it's louder, but I can hear you
Melhorou?
better.
Firstly, passion for sports, personal
Mm.
challenge, and experience and wisdom.
Nice. I guess when we have the opportunity to see someone like Tia Tanya, it's a nickname, of course. I guess we can be so interesting about his history, right? Because this is not what we used to see in the Olympic Games, right? We are putting our eyes in the childs or the new faces at the Olympic Games. So I guess this is really interesting when we have the opportunity to talk about this. Guilherme, could you please read the question number 3 and answer, please?
Yes. How do you think Tietania's participation challenges common perceptions about age and athleticism? In various ways, breaking stereotypes about age and athletic ability, inspiring others, né? Demonstration resilience, and valuing experience in sports.
Yeah, nice. I agree with you. Totally agree. And you, Grego, what do you think?
I guess it's breaking a pattern. It's a really big break, you know. It's not something, as you say, it's not something that we are used to see. And I was watching the Olympic Games today, the gymnastics, and I could see the oldest guy that competed today, it was about 25. So what is the 30s and the 40s? Those peoples are not allowed to practice gymnastics, and it's something that can change. It will change, of course, because next Olympics we're gonna see more older people participating. I believe that. And what about you, Camilo? What do you think?
I was thinking about that question, and we have I don't know in English, but we have the Paralympic Games, right? I guess it's after before the Olympic Games, and I was thinking that we should have. I don't know, this is worst or better, but we could have a specific Olympic Games for the elders, but I don't know this is the best way to split them. I don't know if you understand what I want to say, but um, we need to put light in these athletes because I don't think it's a person 40. It's not a person that can't be in our Olympic Games. I believe this is totally necessary, but I don't know, the media sometimes is not so interesting about these things. And of course, here in Brazil, the sports, and we have a lot of challenge, even without age. But I don't know. I was thinking about this. We could have one specific, maybe after 15, maybe. I don't know, just to make these things being more normal, something like this. I don't know if you agree with this, Gregor. What do you think? This is a crazy idea, or could be worse than what we have today?
No, I do think so. I agree with you. Yeah, it's something that to me it really changed. And what about the Paralympic Games? I guess it's more inclusive because
Yeah.
we are talking about people with disabilities, and as well, there are more older people participating. So it's amazing, and it's something that can inspire more people to become athlete. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's something that it came my mind.
Yeah. And you, Guilherme, what do you think about my idea? We can go ahead with this.
The question 4.
No, no, I was saying that the opportunity that we can have Olympic Games for the oldest, para as pessoas mais velhas. I'm not saying that Tia Tânia it's older person, but I think we could maybe do it. What do you think? This is a good idea or bad idea?
Good idea.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Uh, do you want to read the question number? Let me see. I guess number 5, right? Number 4, sorry. Question number 4 and answer, Guilherme, please. Oh, let me see. Oh, okay, okay, no problem. Do you want to read, Grego?
Yep, for sure. What lessons can we learn from Tiatania's story about pursuing dreams at any age? Well, it's something that I said before. It's about you know what you want and go for it because as I said, sometimes we spend a lot of time. It's something that I'm experienced. I mean, kind of have an existential crisis thinking about planning my future, and we should just do what we want to do, work with it. It's more familiar to us. So it's something that I believe that we can learn from her story. It's about you know what you want and go for it. Just follow your dreams. And what about
Yeah,
you? What if
I I was reading something on LinkedIn about it because sometimes when you become 40 or 50, you are not able to find a job or you are afraid to lose your current job. Nowadays, here in Brazil, of course, I don't know in another country, but here it's really common. You are not sometimes, you have to feel afraid. I'm old. I guess I'm not aware about the opportunities. They prefer the younger. So I guess this is common. And I don't know why this is common because I know a lot of people, older than me, that are great professional. They had a big knowledge and they can teach a lot for us about the professional things or about life, even about life, right? So this is a thing that I don't know if we can change, right? This kind of
I
perspective.
guess I guess it will. I guess we can change it, and it will change, of course, because nowadays people are living more and more. So the life expectation in the last century, it was really different from the life expectation that we have today. For example, people in Portugal live until 70.
I was
So
thinking about Portugal, yeah.
yeah, people live until 70 or something more than. So why not? It's something that it's kind of complicated because once you live more, your time to retire increasing, but yeah, it's something that I see in Brazil, and it's not just about jobs, it's about relationships as well. I saw a lot of old peoples older than me, 40 and 50, saying, complain, always complain, no one cares about me, no one will want me
Mm.
about, because society, at the same time that society press you, there are a lot of pressure about age, you need to start working early to retire early as well, because the job market just has a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I was thinking about Portugal because they are really old there, right? And I don't know if they had that help from the government as we have here, like INSS and other things. I don't know how to say that. But sometimes if you don't have this kind of help, you have to work. You need to have a job because you have to maintain yourself. So why this person is not able to work if they have necessities, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, but I could live in Portugal for a long for almost a year, and I could notice that a lot of older people's they work. For example, I went to a store and there was a lady. She was about 50 or something like that, and they have a very active life, so you can see a lot of adults running, even 50s, 70s, 60s. They have this kind of life, so I guess I don't know, because I'm not a um, older person, 50 or something like that. So I can't say for myself. I don't know if they have this difficult too, but I see it in Brazil. For example, my mother is looking for a job, and it's so complicated because she goes for interviews, and they don't say it's about the age, but you can see who they will hire, So yeah, it's complicated.
Yes, can you imagine? I am 39 and I became 40 next 10 days, I guess. And I was in a group in the company, né, at the office. They were talking, oh, because nowadays the person with 40 cannot need to be aware because the company will fire them because they are useless. And I was like, oh my gosh, they don't know my age here because I don't look like a 40 person. But I believe, as you said, my mom worked with a young lady, yeah, not a young lady, an old lady. She is 92, I guess, the person who my mom's works. And she's really wider. She's really intelligent. I forgot the word wise the
I
word,
guess
something
it's
like that.
wise.
Wise,
Yeah, I
yes.
guess.
And she's funny, she makes jokes. She's really aware about everything. She watched the Olympic Games, and for others, she's like useless. She don't know, she use cell phone, she know how to use cell phone. And I guess this should be normal. And I don't know why we have this kind of feeling about the elders.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I need to get away for 2 minutes
Go ahead,
because
go ahead. No worry, go, go,
someone
don't
is
worry,
someone is calling me.
no worry.
Okay, I'm back. I
Ah,
came
you're
as
back.
fast as I could.
No worry. Let's try to answer the question number five, okay? If you
Okay.
could participate in any Olympic event, which one would you choose and why?
That's a complicated one. Um, I could say the gymnastics because I'm passionate about it, and I saw the movements and the way that they move, they dance. It's
The body,
amazing.
right?
Yeah,
The
exactly.
body.
Even the body. It's. I would like to have a gymnastic body. They work. And it's amazing in the flexibility as well because I practice yoga and I see my flexibility improving, but the way that they do the movements, they make the movements, it's kind of seems so easy, so natural. It's like it's amazing. I would like to do gymnastics. In what about you?
I think nowadays we Brazilian are s- uh, totally crazy about gymnastics, right? We are follow all the things about gymnastics because we do not have like a football to watch. We are just choosing another sports like skate. I was following the skate and it was awesome to watch. But if I could participate, let me see. I love volleyball, but I'm small to do it. But of course, the Olympic Games look like powerful, right? When you see Simone Biles and Rebecca doing like a challenge for themselves, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And the bodies, I was like, oh my gosh, look at this body. But of course, it's dangerous sometimes, right? We have a girl in Brazil that hurts and or her eyes in doing during the Olympic Games. And of course, I believe that it's so hard to practice, as you said about the how I would like to use the same word as you said, flexibility. I am terrible. And I used to do yoga and I felt a lot of pain because we are like stuck sometimes. I spend my day working in front of a laptop. And when if you don't realize I'm just going down without even notes. So I guess when I have to do something like a specific exercise to stretch myself. It's horrible, and I would like to be better. Like put my hand in my feet without any pain or uh, more naturally. But unfortunately, I don't know. But I would be like a gymnastic just because the body, I believe. I love it. I think so beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. I know a guy that I met him in Portugal, and he spent 24 years working on his body and doing gymnastics exercise as well. And he has a amazing body.
Yeah.
You can look at and say, "Oh, you did gymnastics," because it's explicit that you can see the body. You can see it's a pattern. They just look amazing. But and he told me about I don't know, but the episodes that he hurts himself, and it's really complicated because sometimes it can be worse, and he told me about the episode that he hurts her knees, and it was he needed to do a surgery, and he was about a year to recover, to be totally recovered. So would be nice to practice gymnastics, but in a light way. I don't need to compete. I just want I don't want the body.
Do you know how to do a estrelinha?
Yeah,
or
I
not?
know, I
You
know, I know,
know?
I
Oh,
know.
I don't know. I was terrible. I was terrible in this. Yeah, I had this when I was in college. I don't know nowadays, but I had, and I was terrible. I don't have this kind of flexibility. I don't know how to. Did you spend 1 year at Portugal?
Yeah, I spent 1 year there, and then decided
Studying
to
or
go.
just,
I was there to was supposed to live there, but then I
yeah,
realized that my place in Brazil, I have a lot of things to sort here,
yeah,
and and then I decided to come back. But it's I'm feeling the difference, living in Europe and living in Brazil, it's completely different the way the culture. There are a lot of things that I like here. There are a lot of things that I miss there. So it's been complicated. But I'm doing
yeah.
well.
My mom's going to Portugal only for 15 days with
Oh no.
her patient. I don't know how to say that. It's correct. Paciente dela. My mom is a nurse, and she
Okay.
has yes, and the patient is that oldest that I said she's 92, I guess, and they go to Portugal to pass the Christmas and Happy New Year.
Oh, and that's amazing. That's amazing. It will be an amazing experience because during the Christmas, Portugal, they have a kind of Christmas event. So there are Christmas markets around the city. So in the city, it's so lightful. I don't know if lightful is the word, but there are a lot of lights to celebrate Christmas as well. It's amazing. I don't recommend the winter there because it's too cold and I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like it. So, but yeah, it's amazing city. I really like the atmosphere of Portugal. For for people who enjoys and calm and silence sometimes, it's amazing because there are, of course, there are some places that are really noisy, but normally it's a calm life way.
yeah. And there it was normal to see the oldest working at the
Yeah,
marketing
yeah,
or yeah.
yeah, it was completely normal.
Wow. Even like a Uber, for example, or something like this is normal.
I don't know about you Uber because I'm not the Uber person, but the guys that I saw, the drivers that I saw on Uber, the oldest person that I met on Uber, it was about, I guess, 50s.
Okay.
Yeah,
But do you think this is like choice or they have
I
the same problem like here?
um I don't know. For example, the problem there is the range price. Even Portuguese people can't afford it, but other people normally they have their own houses and something like that, and
Mm,
they can live well with the minimum wage, which is it's low compared to another countries. But they, if you don't pay rent, you can live amazing with the minimum wage. So I can't say I can tell you, but I do think so that they can live with the minimum wage if they don't need to pay rent. So I guess so.
yeah. Well, I had the opportunity to went to Ireland, and there are a lot of olders in Ireland, but the rent was really expensive. I don't know in Portugal, but I believe Europe in general, it's really expensive when you have to pay the rent.
Yeah, they are facing this problem with rents because the tourism in Europe
Mm,
it's crazy as well. Um, they are really upset about the this kind of thing, the tourism, because I saw some news that in Spain they are trying to I don't know how say the word expulsar. I don't remember.
I get off
I
maybe.
yeah, maybe kick off.
Yeah.
kick off the tourists because and the digital nomads as well because the people who live in the culture can't afford the rent, so it's crazy.
Mm,
But
yeah. I heard about that. I think it's Barcelona. They had a protest about against the tourism. This is crazy, right?
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know. This is crazy. But
yeah, yeah.
go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, it's kind of something in parts it's understandable, but it's not the tourism fault, I guess. It's more about the government because how to suppose they live in a city that you can't live. You imagine you growing up in a city that it's your home place and you can't live there because you can't afford because there are a lot of other peoples that can pay the rent, can increase the prices and increase the prices of the restaurants as well. So the life became expensive. So how can you compete with people that receives double the your age wage? So it's about it's something that I see in Rio, for example, the South Zone. It's really expensive, and so sometimes people ask me, "Oh, but you live in Rio de Janeiro. How can't you go to the beach every week?" It's so complicated. To I need to spend at least an hour to get to the beach, and it's expensive to get things on the beach because there are a lot
Yeah.
of tourists there, and then I need to plan when I go to the beach, and sometimes you are really tired and you can't go to the beach. So my mom, I guess, has about 15 years that she don't go to the beach,
Oh,
doesn't
come
go
on.
to. Yeah, I'm serious. It's
Yeah.
uh, it's not about it just because she cannot, because she has children as well, so she needs to take care of about children. I don't know if you are a mom, a mother, but you know that the mother job is the most difficult in the world. Requires a lot
But
of time.
I heard that I don't know too much about Rio, but I heard that it's really expensive to live. And
Yeah.
I guess because the tourism, right? Because
Yeah, yeah,
we
it's
have
about it's about the tourism. It's always about the tourism. For example, people from different states came here and buy houses in the south zone because the safer zone, and so the lifestyle became expensive.
the beach closest to you is the expensive, is the more
Yeah,
expensive, like
yeah, more expensive to live there. It's way expensive. I was just doing some research and looking for rents there, and the minimum rent that I saw it was about a simple apartment, 40 square meters. I don't know if it's the word.
but I get it, don't worry.
It was about 2,500 per month. It's not includes
Wow.
the taxes. So the minimum wage in Brazil it's about 1,400. So how can we afford it? So it's complicated.
And in Rio, you can face this kind of people, like as you said in Portugal, working or not. Because I don't think here, for example, in São Paulo, sometimes I get a Uber for someone oldest or maybe a person working at bakery. It's older, but I don't think it's really common. I guess we can have a kind of life quality, something like this.
Yeah, I don't know, but I guess Rio is the same. I don't see many older peoples working, for example, um, in hotels, restaurants, kind of. something that you need to face. For example, I don't see many older peoples, but for example, when I was working, it was about 8 years ago in a call center. The lady who cleans the environment, which was about 50, 52, I guess. So depends on the area. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see many older people's working. Just for example, we have this kind of places that people, and the downstairs is where they sell something and they live upstairs. And I can see, but it's familiars,
Mm-hmm.
it's about the family. So people run their own business. But for employee peoples, it's difficult to see other people's working.
Yeah, right. And sometimes if you work in a house, and you spend your whole life working for that family, I think it's common. But as an employee in a private company, for example, I don't think this is really common.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't see many other people's working in private companies, principally in startups. I didn't see any other, despite the CEOs and CTOs or something like that, the high level. But people on the basis, I can't see they are just teenage, no, of course not teenage, but they are youngest person, about the 20s.
Yeah, I guess as you said about a startup, this it's common when you are almost teenage, 20s, 21, and you are just working there, and was a kind of they are not more than 30, I believe. This is the opposite, I guess, right? They are
Yeah,
really younger.
yeah. A startup environment, they are always younger. I don't know why. It's something that I never thought about. That
Yeah.
and it's so common to see, but
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about it. Yeah, it's something interesting because startups normally they don't have a lot of age range,
Yeah, 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 I totally agree. And you said that you work in a call center, right? And I
Yeah.
guess there was the same. They are the youngest working there, or you can see someone older.
Normally younger, the ladies who cleans, the ladies was older persons, but and despite of the managers and supervisor and high positions, the basis the agents, they are always younger. Actually, there are two guys that are older. One is was about 50 as well,
Yeah.
but he was in the company since I guess he had, for example, 20 years working for that company. So it's kind of someone that it's old in the company. But despite of that, I couldn't see many people, older people's. There are what a lot of 30, 30s and 20s, but 40s and 50s was just a minimum percent.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes do you think that the others was looking for them like, oh, you are still here working at the same way, like prejudice, something like this? Do you think this is common?
I don't know, but when uh, because they were funny, and they really liked the job because the salary was the worst, but the money that they received for reaching the goals, they received
Mm-hmm.
a lot of money. So this is the reason why they spend a lot of time there, because they had a um I don't know, life cost,
Mm-hmm.
and they always talking about it, because the reason why they spend a lot of time in that job, because they like it, and it was easy to him to do it. It's something that they are used to. So, but when I saw it, I say, but I don't wanna spend all my my life here, even call center, because my day was to take care about customer and complaints. So why supposed to live and spend 20 years with someone yelling in your ears? It's something that it's crazy.
Yeah, but
And
sometimes, as you said, they like it, right?
yeah, they like it. They like it. And I don't know if they like it. They really like it to do it, or they just like the salary that they have. Because
Okay.
it can be really different. I don't know how someone would like to spend to working with someone yelling at you. It's not so common to someone yell, but I know we are Brazilians. We know when
Mm-hmm.
someone is pissed, and Brazilians always believe that the customer has a reason. So it's complicated to
In
argue
Portugal,
with
is not
them.
common.
I don't know. I don't needed to I needed to face it the time that I needed to do something and to call for something. They are very old way to deal with this kind of stuff. You needed to write an email. It's not something
Oh.
very easy to do. Um, it's something that they answer everything with email, and sometimes you need to be in person there. So
Mm.
it's kind of conservative. It's different from the way that we have here. I guess we are more technological than they.
Yeah, but I believe that I don't know for sure, but I think could be because they are oldest. They are, I guess I don't know how much, how many percent, but they are old. But of course, Portugal, it's a huge country. They could, I don't know, apply this kind of technology way to work. I don't know. This is so hard to understand, right? If you have to
Yeah,
go in person to solve something.
yeah. Well, German is even worse. You know that they still use, no, it's not in German, in
German.
French. Do you know that in France they still use fax?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I went to France only 2 days, and I had a terrible experience there because my English was the worst in that time, and they don't like to speak in English.
They don't like to speak in English. It's rather do you speak in Portuguese than English.
Yeah. They
They
was like
prefer.
looking at me, so I don't understand your English and I don't know Portuguese. So you have to say something in French. But I was like, oh my gosh, they don't like for real. They was like, I cannot do something for you, my baby. They are not so
Yeah.
good.
There is a funny story that a Brazilian guy told me when I was in Portugal, that they don't like to speak English because they don't understand it, because they don't learn English. They believe that
Ah.
it's about it. It's not about because your English is not good to communicate. Because I totally believe that your English would be perfect if you go to England. They will make
Mm-hmm.
effort to understand you. But in France, they just don't get it because they normally are not used to speak English, even
Mm-hmm.
and they don't accept that the international language is English because they
Ah,
are
okay.
it's about ego, so they rather speak a Latin language than speak English.
They are kind of forcing you to say that natural, that not the natural, but the language for them because you are living in that country, something like this,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. So you came here and you don't speak the
The
native
language.
language. Yeah. What you doing here?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And they
Okay,
are
miss.
they are looking at me like you, as you said, as you do, like oh, you want to speak in English, but you are in France. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Was
exactly.
terrible. But
Exactly.
it's they have a big tourism in France. Why do not try to they know English, but they don't like to say, right?
They don't like to say well, I couldn't say that they know English because the persons that I met in Portugal who were French, they sometimes was complicated to understand them in English because I don't speak French. I saw many phrases, but there, of course, there are good person who is speaking English there, but they just don't like to learn English. They rather to learn other language. They just learn because it's necessary nowadays, and they don't accept it that the international language. So sometimes, if you got a nice friend, he will be polite to you and he will try to make effort, but the normal situation, they just don't like it.
Yeah, I have to agree because I had terrible experience there because I was like, oh my gosh, I need to find a way to communicate with them in the hotel was something like this. And well, of course, was good, was a good trip, but I had this kind of feelings like someone is judging me because I don't know English and I don't know French. So they are looking at me like, what are you doing here, lady? Go,
Yeah.
go back to your country.
I never went to France because I don't know, that's it's just a place that doesn't fit me, and I have another countries to visit. But yeah, I had terrible experience with French peoples because sometimes it was really complicated to understand them, and I don't understand French, and my English it's getting better nowadays, but it was worse before. So
It's
two
normal, right?
people,
It's normal.
yeah, two persons who don't speak English properly trying to communicate. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
really funny. It's something you can see you if you are really interested in the person because you are putting so much effort to try to communicate to them because it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I had a terrible experience because I when I arrived at the hotel, they were trying to say that I have to pay a tax. And I
Yeah.
say, but I use I don't use, I didn't use taxi. I came here using the subway, and they are saying tax, only the tax. And I was like, but I use a subway. And they look at the Google Translator and said, oh, we are talking about imposto. And then was, oh my God, I didn't realize that they
Yeah,
are talking about tax.
it's something that I saw that's it's weird, because they don't include the tourism tax that you need to
Yeah.
pay. So you need to pay it in cash. most of the
Yeah, yeah.
time. Yeah, it was something. It happens in Portugal as well. So it was the first thing that I saw. Oh, okay, but I already paid for the days. Okay, but
Yes.
we have the tourism tax. No one says that.
Was
I
the
was
same problem. I read they did a reservation, and when I arrived at the hotel, they said, "Oh, you need to pay a tax." And I was like, "No, I use Subway." Could you imagine how crazy was this conversation? We spent
okay,
more than 10
imagine.
minutes.
Okay, it's something that it's hard when you face it, but then it's
It's a fun
amazing.
story, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's a fun story. It can give us good laughs.
Yeah, of course. I know we changed a little bit about the topic, but I believe that was the base of our conversation. And I love when we can talk about other things. This is the best way that we can practice, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. I like it when it just go with the flow because it's something that you force yourself to think. When I saw the questions, I can just start thinking about the answers, and it's kind of okay.
Mm,
I will answer that, and it's okay. But when you go with the flow and you need to explain things that you are not thinking about and you never thought about, it's the best because you create the connections and you started thinking about and just English. I'm kind of the step that I don't translate anymore, so I
mm.
try to make the connections in my mind. So sometimes it's really complicated, but it's always always to me talking about the nouns, to me it's the worst. I always mix he and she and they.
Yeah.
It's it's really complicated.
But
I
it,
have
it
a
is the way, right? You have to improvise and say what we are
yeah,
talking and change the topic.
yeah.
This.
I have a fun history with that because I went to German and I was trying to talk with the guy on immigration about my boss because I went there to meet my boss, and I'm always changing he with she, and he it is he or she. I'm confused, so I needed to call my boss to
I
talk
have
with
a I
the
have this problem
guy.
sometimes using before and after. I changed it and I was like, that doesn't make sense what I said, but that's okay.
Yeah, but in immigration, I was so nervous, and immigration it's so complicated. And German guys, they just look at you and start staring at you, and they just like freeze the person. You can't see any emotions. So, oh my God, I
Oh,
gotta be
this is
blocked.
embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a fun story, history,
Yeah.
and I
Gregor,
still
I put
mix it.
the survey on the chat. If you want to send me some ideas to topics, do not worry. I know we are only in two here, but it's totally anonymous. And if you want to discuss some specific, you can bring me ideas or rate what was the immersion. And I love to see you here. I love our conversation, and I hope see you soon. Unfortunately, we do not have too much time because we have another immersion becoming, but I hope see you soon. Okay?
Yeah, thank you. I love it
Thank
that
you
the
very
talk
much.
as well, and see you the next week.
Yes, please. Bye bye.